And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym in the Crypto, episode 918. Today is Monday, March 28th, 2022, and I'm King here to bridge the gap between community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10-ish. And today's top stories: the U.S. e-cash bill proposes digital currency that replicates cash and bypasses the Fed. Coinbase to track off-platform crypto transfers in Canada, Singapore, and Japan. Shitcoins are garbage. Bitcoin-only brokers on freedom and finance. Ukraine launches NFT museum to keep the memory of war. And ExxonMobil is using excess natural gas to power crypto mining. And of course, we're going to be talking about these prices. But really quick, want to say my bad for the clickbait. I really noticed when I went on YouTube this morning, 2 or 3 videos that had something about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock within 7-8 hours. I already had a couple million views. And I was like, let's crank that algo, baby. And I'll do the rest once they come here and join our gracious community of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency enthusiasts. Plus, why not use Will Smith's name as clickbait since he did some dumb shit like the way he did yesterday? We got to talk about him anyway. And after what he did, he's going to need to buy Bitcoin. I think Hollywood might cancel him, man. You can't be Hollywood is the one thing they don't play. They don't play the physical altercation because they know that's a game they can't keep up with. So that's the one thing they don't play. So we'll see what happens here with that. First and foremost, though, let me go ahead and check out these prices. Of course, the market's pumping. Bitcoin's coming out $47,544, up 6.46%. Ethereum is at $3,371, up 7.13%. You have BNB at number 4 at $438, up 5.84%. Solana at $111, up 10.62%. You got number 10 rounded out, Avalanche up 8.1% at 92.20 itself. And the biggest gainers, we have Galactic Kitty Fighters, never heard that one, up 3,467%. That's right. Rebolado is up 1,431%, and Gamers is up 507% as well. So we still got those big gains of altcoins you've never heard of happening, which means the market is alive and well. All right. Got to also give a shout out to Bitcoin Zay. Make sure you all hit up Bitcoin Zay's Twitter feed, because I know that's where he lives the most, and wish him a happy birthday. Yesterday was his birthday. And as I told him yesterday morning when he hit me up, I was like, let me know if you can't make the show before it gets too late. And oh my goodness, 10-something p.m. last night. Hey, yeah, I'm not going to make the show. I know you're not going to make the show. Zay, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to the homie Bitcoin Zay. Big news coming from some things he just did last week. And again, one of the biggest arenas on the planet, one of the most popular, most renowned arenas on the planet. He just did a little project there that should be airing pretty soon. So you'll be seeing Bitcoin Zay in one of the most popular cities on the planet at one of the most popular arenas as well. I'll leave you all to your imagination to figure out what and where those are. Really quick shout out. What's going on? Bitcoin Madam, Wendy Nichols, Gu Remy, Ali Pio, Kadeem Casey. I wonder if that would be the title. Hey, I had to go for the algo. I won't say we rarely do some super clickbait title. I had to go all the way. I was like, listen, if there's ever a time to clickbait it out, this is the time. Like I said, every video I saw on YouTube this morning that mentioned Will Smith had like 1 million views on it. I was like, how is this off the rip? They just talking about it already. But yeah, so shout out to everybody in the chat. What else is going on? Bitcoin Madam, Crypto Culture, Richard Johnson, Blockchain Bully. See, I heard that slap in my sleep. They said they're not canceling light. That's just black on black crime to them. Hilarious. Hey, I'm going to talk about really quick, but before I do talk about it, I also want to give a shout out to L, of course, Crypto in the KRBE episode 4 that came out last night. If you missed it, make sure you check that out. Again, a new episode of Crypto in the Caribbean, or Caribbean and Crypto, of course, episode 4. So make sure you all check that out. Shout out to Leroy Forbes for that as well. And really quick, before we get the show started, listen, I got to talk about this. I'm in Hollywood, so I got to talk about this one. I saw some friends of mine yesterday. They went to the Oscars, so I know they got to see it live. But let's just pull up this video real quick. Here, let me throw the sound on there. The Dave Chappelle joke, what did the 5 fingers say to the face? I'm sure everybody saw the video. If you didn't, what was it? Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. She didn't laugh. Will Smith was actually laughing when the joke was made. So I don't know why. Here, let's go back to the original. I'm just go back to when the joke was made. You can see Will really quick.
Said, King Leonard got
Denzel. Let's see.
Yeah, bro. He is praying.
There it is. So he just said,
like, please, Lord, on.
And Will Smith's laughing. Look, he's having a
Jada,
good
I
time.
love
Ha ha, it's funny. Look, Jada's not. There you go. You
Can't
can,
wait to
Jada's
see
not
it.
laughing.
All right?
Will's laughing. There it is. So you see the face. He rolls her eyes. He's laughing. So for one, this is listen. Oh, we got to do this. We got to do this real quick. Will, you're gonna need to buy some Bitcoin when it's all said and done. You're gonna laugh at a joke.
Wow.
And then you're gonna go holler at my man. And it look like, be honest with you, if you look at Chris Rock right here, key in on his right wrist, on his right fist, he was actually about to give him a quick hug.
Oh, wow.
You see the right come out? Wow. The right came out and he remembered, hey, this is the Oscars. I don't need to do this. All right. Really quick. I just want to point this out just because I put in the clickbait title. So I got to talk about it. People pick and choose. If you slap a grown man on national TV, Will, you are lucky that man didn't have a knife on him or a pistol, because in some states they wouldn't have said nothing as soon as he poked you up or flatlined you on stage. And I wouldn't have blinked the eye as soon as it happened either. I'd be like, yeah, that's what happens when you slap a grown ass man. So keep your hands to yourself. Don't advocate for violence, of course, but that was crazy to see. I couldn't believe. I still hope it's fake to this day. But the person you should be slapping is the young man who's an R&B singer who slept with your wife and told the world. If there's anybody you need to slap, it's him, because he gave other young brothers like me hope that one day we could still smash Jada Pinkett Smith and get the good, gracious blessings of you, Will Smith, yourself. All right, let's be real. Wives out in Los Angeles are smashing. It's happening. For those who don't know, in the Bible Belt, I am here to tell you, wives get smashed in LA and their husbands know about it. They drop them off to the appointment. All right, this is real life out here. So Will Smith to go on stage and smack a comedian for making a joke. He could have, and you know what? He was nice. He said it too. He said, I could, and he stopped. He should have. I would have had a 30-minute comedy special about entanglements right after the slap happened. A, and B, for Chris Rock and anybody else in Hollywood or any other public setting out there, if you ever get slapped or punched in a public setting, you think a tussle is about to happen, fucking tussle. You at the Oscars, Chris Rock, there's going to be a maximum of 30 seconds of fighting before they break it up. And I mean a maximum. And 30 seconds is a long time in a street fight, for those who don't know. But that's a max. Listen, as soon as he slapped you, you should have just dumped him on his head. We getting after it. We getting down right here in the Oscars in front of everybody. We got 30 seconds to do it before security come. Do not let a grown man smack you on stage. But shout out to Chris Rock. I saw he wasn't pressing charges. I'm definitely not with pressing charges, but he definitely should send Will Smith a text message and say, I'll be waiting for that $2 to $3 million in the morning, bro. Like, that's the only thing that's going to let this go away. Hey, there we go. Somebody, Canadian official. This is the way we're going to bring it back to crypto. Somebody NFT that meme. Somebody NFT the slap heard around the world. But straight up, you do not, people, if this was Texas or Florida and you slap a grown man in private, much less on national TV, what? What are you talking about? What? Will Smith should be a very happy man that he picked on a comedian and he's still alive today. Again, you slapped a man on national TV. That had to be the headline today, people. You can't do that. It's just things you can't do in the Midwest and Detroit, where I grew up, and then going to the South to live in the Bible Belt. You're not slapping a grown man at all, and you're definitely not doing it on stage. And you just, I'm just going to sit back down in my seat after I slapped a grown man. Buy Bitcoin, Will Smith. Buy Bitcoin, and maybe you can. But right now, it's not happening. It's not happening. All right, that's enough of the clickbait. Hopefully, I got the new people in. Let's go ahead and get to the show. 5252crypto.com. Thank you for the tip. Happy belated B-Day to Zay. Best show. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Get the masterclass. Of course, if you haven't heard the masterclass we have, make sure you check it out. It teaches you everything in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, A to Z. And let's see. He didn't want you to think he was just a tough guy on screen. Oh, he's talking about Will Smith. He didn't want us to think he was just a tough guy on screen. That is true. Cornelius said he allegedly punched out Ethan Hawke. Yeah, he's allegedly punching out the right people. That's my point. Bro, Will Smith punched me in private or on stage, bro. What? We after it immediately, and then it's not gonna end. Then it is we after it 24/7, all day, all night. Ain't no kids on this side of the fence, boy. All right, let's get to the show, man. I'm getting too excited. I'm not gonna lie, I had to watch that slap about 10 times. I still didn't believe it. Shout out to Chris Rock for being professional. That is, I wish I had that type of demeanor to be professional at all times. That is some professional stuff that guy did. All right, let's talk about the real madness today. While you're all here, US eCash bill proposes digital currency that replicates cash, bypasses the Fed. That's right. A United States House bill proposes a Treasury-issued, hardware-secure, anonymous form of digital cash. First and foremost, I'm actually going to give this a paltry hand clap. Here it is. And this is why they get the paltry hand clap. Shout out to the United States government for being who we always been, a real gang, and gangs don't follow around other people, all right? And I say that to say the Federal Reserve is a private business that has been in charge of our monetary supply for a very long time now, and they shouldn't be. This should be our monetary supply, especially if it's the world reserve currency, should be backed by the government, not a private company in the United States by other private people who some have many interests outside the United States. So they do all types of funny business where it doesn't actually benefit our nation, our country, our civilians, our taxpayers, but it benefits people overseas. I'm actually happy to see the United States come out and essentially say, yeah, we are going to do this digital currency thing, but we're going to do it. We're not going to give this to a third party this time. So shout out to the United States for keeping this in-house as it should be. It should not be the Federal Reserve, a place we haven't audited in years, a private company doing the entire planet's global reserve currency. It should be our government. It should be taxpayers who have a say. So again, this is the Electronic Currency and Secure Hardware Act, eCash Act, introduced today in the United States House of Representatives, could herald a new direction in government-sponsored digital currencies. The legislation calls for the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury to develop and pilot an electronic version of the U.S. dollar that is easy to use for the economically marginalized or technically challenged. Now, this is the part where, of course, they're just trying to pin people off the street, trick you off the street, economically marginalized. Bitcoin already solves this problem. Come on, stop it. Stop it with the whole, we're trying to save people and protect people. We don't save and protect the United States. All right, this is government is gangster. We want our money. And if you ain't got it, go get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you got robbed, and that's the robber's money, right? Go get mine. That's the United States government. They're not here to look out for marginalized or technically challenged people. You need to get with the program. So for that part, that was a little bit of the buzzwords they throw in there. They say it will also maximize consumer protection. Again, they're not here to protect you. And data privacy. Again, literally, an article we'll cover today is Coinbase making you tell them where you're sending your crypto to. Like, the government's not here for customer protection or data privacy. They're here to figure out how much value you have so they can extract more of it. According to his principal sponsor, Representative Stephen Lynch, chair of the fintech task force in the House Financial Services Committee, who said all this. Now, one thing also, and we'll get more into this, they're not even actually trying to use a blockchain for this. Their version of eCash we already have is literally the numbers that are on your bank screen when you go online or on your phone. So essentially they're saying, how can we make those numbers on the bank screen be controlled by the United States instead of the Federal Reserve and banks moving forward? All right, I get it. But as far as actually using a lot of technology to make this happen, they're not really doing it. eCash, as it's called, will be issued by the U.S. Treasury Department, not the Federal Reserve Board. Again, shout out to that, as it should be. Whoa, can you all listen? I'm telling you now, also, I'm calling it. If any politician, like higher level politician, person who's on this chair, like the fintech task force, basically, if anybody gets any sudden heart attacks or anything recently, it wasn't a mistake. It was an assassination. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this is an assassination talk. You are literally cutting the Treasury, or excuse me, the Federal Reserve, a private company who's been doing this out of the monetary system. They're not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy. And I mean, I heard that Wishpal was trying to get us back on the gold standard before they blew his top off. One of our old presidents, I can't think of his name right now. Is it FDR? Was it FDR? Who was it? Can't think of his name right now. But yeah, so I don't know how this is actually going to play out, but it will be interesting to see. Again, they say it would technically not be a central bank digital currency, nor would it be built on a blockchain or require the internet to operate. So again, the problem with this is going to be centralized, which means, as we already saw, like the Equifax hack, if someone is able to hack into this system, they will have everyone's money, not just a little bit. They will literally have everyone's money and privacy and whatever else under their thumb. So again, it's designed to replicate the privacy respecting features of physical cash, such as coins and notes, to the greatest extent possible. And again, you know they're lying to you. Literally, they don't like Bitcoin, but they're telling you we're going to create a new digital currency for everyone, and it's going to have the privacy respecting features of physical cash. Like, come on. If you believe that, I have some oceanfront properties to sell you out of Arizona right now. The initiative isn't meant to necessarily preclude a Fed-issued CBDC. However, the pilot program launched by the eCash Act will complement and advance ongoing efforts undertaken by the Federal Reserve and President Biden to examine potential design and deployment options for a digital dollar. Again, all they had to really use, they really cared, was Bitcoin, but they don't really care about privacy or consumer protection or people, getting out of the poor man's house. They don't care about that stuff. They just want their money. They want to control it. Here's what's crazy. The bill envisions the launch of a two-phase eCash pilot program within 90 days of enactment, with the deployment of eCash to the American public expected no later than 48 months after enactment. What's even crazier about this, people, 48 months, 4 years, Bitcoin will be 17 years old. It will be a force. And that's when they're saying, hey, within 4 years, then we'll have this thing launched. Okay, let's just keep wasting taxpayer money, whatever. And even crazier is in 4 years, is Joe Biden going to be the president or alive? And if he is not, what is the next administration going to say? Yeah, we want to do this, or no, we don't want to do this. If they decide not to do this, we literally just wasted taxpayer money. However, I do think they will decide to do it because, as I told you all in the past, no matter if you're Democrat or Republican, they're all on the same team, the federal government and the expansion of the federal government. So when you talk about expanding the federal government, even if Biden isn't here, his administration isn't here, and it does switch back red or whatever, I don't think it matters because this will expand the federal government. So the next person will pick it up and go. And by that time, you all will see what we talk about when we say the president does not matter. The legislation is being proposed and supported by progressives, blah, 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 civil libertarians, and some crypto true believers. Notice they didn't put no notable names because it's probably not true. And again, this thing doesn't even involve a central bank or digital ledger technology, which could, of course, they say, make a new path to state-sponsored money. I don't know how this is going to work. They claim it's going to be instantaneous, final, direct, peer-to-peer, blah, 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 blah. They're basically trying to do a CBDC in-house. So again, cool to see. I'm glad to see that they're doing this outside of the Federal Reserve. Hopefully we're making ways and waves to get away from the Federal Reserve. But again, this is the US. Now, one thing I did want to point out for those who have watched the popular show, Mr. Robot, I mean, we say this all the time, art imitates life, or does life imitate art? Which one happens first? Will you see in Hollywood, or is it already out there? And I point that out because they already talked about this in Hollywood. E-Corp, Evo Corp was the name of it in Mr. Robot. Evo Corp was the company that decided essentially to make the CBDC and take over the whole country with their CBDC. And literally you have our government saying, how about we do eCash? Mr. Robot is a very popular show, people. I mean, like super popular. So you have to be crazy to think this is just a mistake. Like they are literally fucking with us in front of us. This is why I call the US gang, like gang. I'm happy to be a part of one of the biggest ones on the planet. Like it doesn't get more gang than this. It is literally a show with like 4 or 5 seasons out talking about eCoin and eCorp and how bad they are and how they're trying to take over. And the US says, you know what? That sounds like a good name. It's almost like people who really watch this show and say, this isn't very gentlemanly of you. And we say, well, we got the show name from the gentleman of Cali. Of course, narco trafficante is not the same. So the US is doing the same thing. They're like, yes, eCash, eCorp, we're going on that route. And it is what it is. People, at the end of the day, I don't see this being stopped, but I do think this could possibly be somewhat of a good thing. For one, it will be one, and this is the reason why they're not doing distributed ledger technology, by the way. You remember when we talk about CBDCs, we keep saying that's still a base hit. It gets you closer to Bitcoin. Well, if they do it like this, then it doesn't get you closer to Bitcoin, right? It gets you closer to the digital environment, to digital currencies, but not necessarily closer to Bitcoin. So I think that's why they're trying to do it when they're like, hey, we're not using a blockchain. We're not using ledgers. We're going to do whatever we're going to do. I don't see how it's going to work from a technical point of view, but we shall wait and find out. Let me check out these comments to see what everyone is saying right now. Let's see. Rendo like Denzel said, eCorp and eCash, this shit is a simulation for real. It is, people. Movado said predictive programming. Yep. Steve T said, who still does not see this? They're trying to control your money. Why won't people buy crypto? Because, I mean, listen, it's new TV shows, it's Oscars, it's this, that, and other. So many distractions and diversions. I don't think people realize like diversions are really a part of national security. Like if you ever read, I think it's like The Craft of Power, or whatever. It's a tough book to find. It's a little expensive. And it's a reason why they actually stopped printing it a long time ago. But they talk about nation building, and a part of nation building is literally having diversions, even from the earliest days back in Rome and everything. That's why they had gladiators fight. They're trying to divert your attention from what's really going on. That's why we have so many movies, TV shows, music, sports, entertainment is huge in the United States. We are the biggest exporter of entertainment out of most countries. And that's so you won't look at things like the money. What's happening with the money? And as much as I like the e-cash ideal specifically over CBDCs by the Federal Reserve, who voted on it? Democratic Society. I didn't hear the population get asked, do you guys want to e-cash? Do you want CBDC? Or do you want to use Bitcoin? No one's voting on it. They're dictating it to us. It's crazy to see that, but they are. Let's see, Riviera Group. Let's see. Oh, all jokes should have been, it's about the Oscars, blame them. The jokes should have been approved. Let's see. Reno Gamble said in 4 years, those devs would have left and started something better. Exactly, people. 4 years in this digital technological space we're in, especially when you're talking about crypto and Bitcoin, 4 years is like damn near 8 to 12 years. The regular market cycle is on an 8-hour, you could even say possibly 12 to 16 hours if you want to include the other half of the world, but max 16-hour cycle is what most markets are on right now at a maximum. Cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is 24 hours. So literally you get 2 to 3 times the amount of work done or amount of information being processed in the same amount of time as like that regular 8-hour workday that you'll see on the regular market. So I agree with you, Reno Gamble. They are crazy to think, oh yeah, we'll launch this in 4 years. You'll have over 50 new devs picking it up and, oh, this was the last dev did last year. This is what I'm gonna work. Like you said, because not only that, if you do work on this project for a year, if you're a developer and you work on this project for a year, you don't need to finish it. You can go to a new project or get picked up by a new company just by saying, I was helping the United States work on eCash. What? Hey, forget all that. Come work for us for $300,000, $400,000. Like that's going to happen. And then Reno Gamble also said, where is their white paper? Hilarious. Alpha Predator, it's funny you put this in the comment. I actually had the video pulled up, but I was like, you know what? That's a little bit too much and it's taken away from the crypto show. And I knew I was going to trigger some people. But if you're a listener, you're watching, Alpha Predator said Will Smith did 6 degrees of separation. Hollywood is open to him forever. I actually had the 6 degrees of separation pulled up. And the only point I was going to make was, you know, which scenes I had pulled up too. The only point I was going to make is that Chris Rock was the easy target. Will Smith is mad at him. He's mad at himself. And this is a frustrating for a lot of people. I understand this is why I always tell people you should be yourself. Will Smith still hasn't come out and told the world who he is. Okay. August Alsina tried to come out and tell the world who that family was. It kind of got brushed up under the table. That's why he's angry. He got that pent up energy, right? He wants to slap the first person making jokes about the fact. Just come out and be like, hey, this is who me and my wife are, all right? Trust me, you'll get a few more 6 months of jokes, and after that, people will say, stop bullying them. They came out and said who they are. We'll just need to come out and say who him and his family is. Like, he acting like people don't know. Kennedy, thank you, Sergeant Crypto. Kennedy got assassinated, and a lot of people used to say, hey, he was actually trying to put his back on the gold standard, which may have been one of the reasons. Of course, people talk about the mafia and everything else, but one of the reasons they said was because he was trying to put his back on the gold standard as well. Let's see. We got hilarious. I'm not gonna read some of these comments. You all are going off today. So it looks like you're not mad about the clickbait title. That's what's up, because the comments are hilarious right now. Let's see. What else do we have? S1 Dubs. Okay. Say he didn't want to take a look at the incident. All right. What else do we have going on? Coinbase is in the news, people. That is right. Coinbase. As I said, the government don't care about all this stuff they're saying, which is why they're pressing Coinbase to track off-platform crypto transfers in Canada, Singapore, and Japan. And once again, these are all partners and friends of the United States. So you're crazy if you don't think it's going to work in these places. And the US is going to be like, nah, we don't want that feature, Coinbase. You don't have to track US addresses. Yeah, okay. Certain Coinbase users will need to disclose recipient information when sending cryptocurrencies to non-Coinbase wallets. It is happening. You know what I think about this?
Hey. Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
All right, this is crazy, people. And again, this is going to come. And I'm not mad at Coinbase because they even start off telling people citing compliance. They're like, it ain't us, it's y'all governments. Citing compliance with local jurisdictions, crypto exchange Coinbase announced to soon collect additional information from users based in Canada, Singapore, and Japan, effective on April 1st. Goodness gracious. So essentially, you got 2 days to withdraw everything. Coinbase users from Canada, Singapore, and Japan will be required to provide additional information while sending cryptocurrencies to a different non-Coinbase platform. If you don't see the issue with this, you're part of the problem. But what I will say, if you do see the issue, we still have the video on our channel, how to get off Coinbase. It's from 2018. We've been telling people since 2018 to get off Coinbase. Get off Coinbase, people. Get off Coinbase or keep playing that game. While Singaporean and Japanese investors will be required to share additional information about the recipient for every single off-platform transaction, Canadians sending less than $801, oh, okay, will be exempt from this requirement. That's 1,000 Canadian dollars, of course. This is how it looks. You literally have to put the information. This is crazy. This is, people, this is crazy, and you already know me and how I feel about it. It's pretty simple.
We're not gonna take it.
Not going to take it. This is why you shouldn't be on centralized exchanges. But as shown in this screenshot, Canadian users would need to share the full name and residential address of the recipient. And then they go into details about which each country is going to have to do, how they're going to make it look. People, this is just the beginning. And again, this is the problem in this space right now. Like you get, again, so many professionals who keep coming over here trying to mitigate risk. You got a government who's trying to put the clamps down on regulation. All this stuff is happening. And the reason why I keep telling people no regulation at all, with the exception of self-regulation, is because the government, like, they're not making these plans and they're saying this is how we're going to do business for the next 50 years. No, they're making these plans now just to get their foot in the door. And then they're like, all right, and in 3 years from now, then we're going to introduce this. You just saw them talk about e-cash is coming in the next 4 years. That's happening in 4 years, people. That's not even happening right now. I am telling you how this works. Even in the military, when we do things, we're on missions, we make plans, we got messaging coming from the Pentagon, all this other stuff is under the assumption that you're going to be doing this work, but the mission will continue as soon as you leave. Most military people only stay in the same, well, at least officers for sure, they usually only stay in the same unit for 2 to 3 years, sometimes 4 years max, but it's usually 2 to 3 years and you rotate. So you already know within 2 to 3 years, I won't have this job and there'll be somebody else here in this job, my same position, but a new person doing the job. So you don't even, like, half the time you're working to get stuff ready for the next person coming or the next 2 or 3 people coming down the road. I say that because our actual government works the same way. So when you see Coinbase has these 3 countries and the way they're going to be doing the rules and regulations, don't think about this is what it is right now. Think about what it will be in 50 years. So right now in 2022, if you need to provide a name, address, and all that, just to send your crypto off of a centralized exchange to someone else, think about the next 20 years what that same process will look like. They're going to need your blood type, your social security number, bank account, social security. I said that twice because you're going to need it twice on 2 different screens. Passports, like, they're going to want all your information. This is why I'm saying no regulation, because I know the game they're playing and they're playing it right now. They're just trying to inch in. All right, maybe not a CBDC, but an eCash coin. All right, maybe we just use eCash for everything around the planet. Yeah, okay. Like, people, they're going to try to sneak their way in. I'm totally against this. This is saddening, disheartening to see. And I'm not mad at Coinbase. They're a bank now. They're doing what banks do, following protocol, rules and regulations. However, this is going to be the future. It is what it is. Let me go ahead and take a peek at some of these comments. Let's see. People laughing about, I see you are laughing about 6 degrees. If you never, it's funny too, a lot of people never saw it. If you never saw 6 degrees of separation, the story of Will Smith, you'll see it right there. Let's see, Cryptonomics. If people bought the top of Bitcoin, they are paid. Doge is still in the early phases, but will reach USD parity. No doubt about that. Let's Alpha Predator said the freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. Yeah, I have real parents. They was old. You know what's up. I know. What was that? Parliament or something? Parliament. I know all these old songs, man. Let's see. What else do we have? PFC Wales. If you're in the DMV area, April 4th, come to the Capitol rally for Black and Brown representation in the crypto space. Of course, that's not just for Black and Brown people. They can definitely appreciate the support from everyone. So make sure you all tap in then. Eric Jones said, "King, you better keep Will name out your mouth." I know, right? I'm about to blow my chance in Hollywood for a start. Will be like, "Oh, him? No, I saw that shit. Hey, no, he don't get that role." Chemo and Crypto. If you're doing a cross-atomic swap within a wallet and it goes to one of those locations, how do you know if it's going to a wallet to those locations. Hey, questions for Coinbase and the government. They think they have it all figured out. J.E. Walter said, I bet there'll be technical issues keeping folks from taking their coins off Coinbase. Oh, come on, people. You listen, I wouldn't be surprised Coinbase go down today or tomorrow. Before the April 1st date, I wouldn't be surprised they go down for 2-3 hours really quick. Let's see. Nappy Wade said, take your Bitcoin to self-custody, keep gambling with the rest. Yeah, it's crazy to see how that's happening. Let's see. Cliff Bitcoin said, we low-key pulled up to today's stream right at 10 a.m. for you and Zay to go off about Will smacking the shit out of Chris. I already know Zay gonna come tomorrow and say, listen, Zay is about to probably have a tirade tomorrow about this. I know he don't like it, but it's pretty funny. All right, what else we have? Oh, is it Houdini? There we go, Houdini. My fault, I got the wrong one. Houdini, there we go. Thank you. But listen, Houdini, Parliament, they was all in the same. Listen, they was all in the same funky white boys. I know all them old songs. All right. Shit coins are garbage. Bitcoin only brokers on freedom and finance. Oh man, you know what this sounds like to me.
Fight.
And we going through the whole what's called today. We going through the whole soundboard. Bitcoin only exchanges explain that selling altcoins is an attractive business model that sidesteps far greater long-term benefits for society, such as greater freedoms and financial prosperity. Again, we have mentioned that on this show. When you see the sponsor ads, or even when we do our own deep dives on altcoins and everything else, we keep saying this is the fun part, this is the degen part, Bitcoin's the real part, which is also why, once again, Bitcoin and crypto is different. And it's also why the price of Bitcoin doesn't matter, because one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin and the technology works. Now, just because you're trying to make a quick buck off it and you're trying to figure out, if I put 40,000 in a day and I get 8,000 back, then I can get the numbers and the numbers add up in the two square. I get it. You want to make some loot in USD. You got regular bills, but we're telling you the flipping will happen. Come on, people, if you still haven't seen, the war is won. Bitcoin is here to stay, which means it will be used as a reserve currency eventually because it works. The technology works. And since the technology works, that is what's most important in this space, that literally USD price does not matter. All that matters is that the technology works. And it looks like a lot of exchanges agree with me. In Europe, Bitcoin only is a growing trend as more and more consumers and companies are hardening the resolve that Bitcoin is the only digital asset worth holding. You talking about the Black Swan event or the boom, the bust, the market going belly. This could actually do it more than the XRP losing the SEC or a bunch of scams and fraud. Like, the worst thing that could actually kill the altcoin market or make this entire crypto market go belly up and have its bust would be for Bitcoin maximalists around the world to say, why are we doing anything with altcoins, period? If that were to catch on, this Bitcoin only trend, if that actually were to catch on, that could actually destroy the altcoin market. And the good thing about that would be all of that money and all those projects will go to Bitcoin. Now, to be fair, I don't think that's going to happen. Why? Because it's still Dogecoin to the dollar. I just looked at that in the comments. Like, it's still Dogecoin to the dollar for some people. So because of that, it would never happen. I don't think Bitcoin only would be the main trend. And the reason why is because people still don't understand the technology. They don't know one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. It's divisible up to 100 million. You have Satoshis. They don't understand these things. They just see one Bitcoin equals $47,000. That's all they see, and that's all they care about. So because of that, I don't think that will happen. Because even if you show them all the proof and the facts and how Bitcoin can save their life and make them more autonomous and X, Y, and Z, they'll still be like, yeah, but this new Elon Floki Musk Dogecoin said that they can go 6,000% in the next 2 weeks. And we're guaranteed a 300% a day ROI. Like, I got to do that. So that's just what it is. Human greed. It is what it is, people. But again, Bitcoin only exchanges and brokers are places to stack sats, not gamble on ether or trade garbage that looks like venture investments. Oh, shots fired. That's according to the CEOs of major Bitcoin only exchanges and brokers, including Coin Corner, Fast Bitcoins, Rely, Bidder, Pocket Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Lion. Cointelegraph spoke to the CEOs and founders of these European Bitcoin brokers to find out why they are Bitcoin only and why you should build a company on this conviction. Again, what's the first question we usually ask every project that comes through? Why not on Bitcoin? Like, why did you have to make a coin? Why did you have to make whatever coin? Why did you have to make XRP? Why did you have to make Cardano, why are you making all these projects? Why not just build it on Bitcoin? Besides the fact that the coding may be a little too difficult for most people, why not Bitcoin? And it looks like a lot of people agree with that. They mentioned the separation of money from the state. Again, with crypto and most cryptocurrencies, there isn't a separation. They aren't decentralized. So of course, they're talking about this once in a generation, perhaps lifetime opportunity to pry the money printed from the government's hands has already happened. Bitcoin is our only hope of separating money and state. Something that Max Kaiser, of course, talked about, and we're definitely on board with that. Let's see, Rely in Switzerland. They say it's the only asset that's truly decentralized. It has no leader or leading team, is uncensorable and unseizable. Let's see, who else do we have? Brewster said that no government will ever let another network or technology gain as much traction as Bitcoin has accomplished ever again, should Bitcoin fail. I agree with that. If Bitcoin fails, now that the government has seen what's possible when it comes to money, oh, this shit will never happen again. You better believe that. It will never, ever, ever, ever happen again, which is why it's most important. And last but not least, I highlighted this. This guy, Chimbraid, added that philosophically speaking, Bitcoin allows a citizen to regain financial control and gain freedom. So again, when we see these stories about e-cash from the government to help break down barriers to the financial market and inclusion and technical, and teaching you the technical words and all this, like, no, Bitcoin literally does everything they're promising: privacy, security, financial freedom, like all this stuff the government keeps saying that they're going to do for you. This is what Bitcoin does. So become a bear. Don't go to the picnic table and try to get free food. Take your ass out in the woods and get to hunting. All right. Like there's food in the woods and you're a bear. Be a bear. Stop getting fed. And that's what the government's trying to do by giving you e-cash. Really quick, a story I forgot to actually bring up that I'm about to find right now. Here's the reason why we're about to have all this e-cash shit to begin with. 1,000, hold on, $1,000 to 1,000 lost. Okay, people, I'm about to show you a quick story. I'm surprised it hasn't gained more traction. I just found out they did this in Sacramento, I guess, already, and it worked. But if you haven't heard, and again, this is the reason what e-cash is for and all this stuff. Biden administration, listen, Blue, I won't say Biden. This is more Democratic than anything, because I will say conservatives are not about giving out money. Here it is. Go West vagrants. Los Angeles to give poor residents $1,000 a month for the next 3 years. Basically, if you haven't heard about what's going on here, this story is from May 19, 2021. It just came out again the other day because the program is about to start here. I think April 1st, or no, April 1st or 15th, the program actually starts. Let me see if it's an updated article. But essentially, LA is working with the University of Pennsylvania. Yeah, these are last year. So the new article just came out, but it's some 2022 articles. They're working with the University of Pennsylvania to give 1,000 LA residents $1,000 per month, essentially, with no strings. Here we go, with no strings attached, to kind of, I guess, help them. It's called the Breathe. It helps them breathe a little easier. I get what they're called. Here we go, March 11th, 2022. So you can see this is happening. 1,000 LA County families to get $1,000 a month for 3 years. Now, of course, my beef with this is I'm just now finally getting to the money. Stop trying to tax me more now that I get into the money. I'm from Detroit. I grew up poor. I'm getting to it for the first time in my life. I don't want to pay more in taxes all of a sudden. A, and B, they're trying to turn us into socialists slowly. They did this in Sacramento. I mean, California will be the first person to do it, right? They did it in Sacramento and it worked. They're trying to do it in LA. People, this is where our government is headed. They already really did it with COVID. COVID was the biggest testing ground. They're saying, how can we make it so that people are okay being fed? Again, you're a bear. We're humans. Go hunt. They want it so that the overwhelming majority of United States citizens gets their 1,000, 2,000, 500, depending on where your location or region's at. You get the money that the government gives you a month in a form of e-cash, and that's your freedom right there. You have no freedom after that, because it will come with stipulations. It will come with guidelines. It will come with strings attached once the government's doing it, which is why the University of Pennsylvania is doing it right now and not the actual government. When the government does it, it's going to come with strings attached. Oh, you didn't vote right this year. Oh, your community didn't do this. Well, maybe we cut off your e-cash funding immediately so you don't get that extra $1,000 a month that you've been relying on. Like, this is how it works. This is what we're headed toward. No, 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 no. I know that this new generation and all of you leftists, the diehard snowflakes, hate capitalism, I'm here to tell you I love it. Capitalism will always be here. And the reason why is because there are people like me who with a straight face say, I will pick up a gun for this government to fight for capitalism. We are not about to be giving out money to everybody in the United States, much less the planet, because that money comes from the other people who create value and work for it. It's not coming out of thin air. So no, I'm not down with this. But I point that story out just because as a whole, this is where it's going. We'll be having e-cash. They'll be giving residents $1,000 a month in different countries or different states or wherever that net number is. And then they'll put all type of stipulations on it. Next thing you know, people are going to hate Bitcoin again. Why? Because e-cash gives us $1,000 a month. It works. Why would you want to use Bitcoin, man? That's what criminals use. What are you doing? You see how that works? Listen, I'm not even in the office no more. I know how to do these storylines and write these narratives. It's pretty easy. So you're kind of crazy to think that the people who are in these positions aren't doing the same thing, but with intent. But I don't know. California, yeah, I saw somebody say that. I laugh, but it is true. California be going crazy. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. If you know how to work it out here, people, California will give you some money. It's pretty funny. PFC Wells said that can't cover rent for sure. And for food, that's not a month's worth of food for a family. No way. Oh no, that's how they start. They just sprinkle it. Hey, they just sprinkle it a little bit on you at first. Just feed the fishes a little bit until they start getting reliant on it. Then you give them more. All right, let's see. What else do we have going on? This is going to be a quick story. I just want to cover this headline to trigger some people. And I thought it was pretty funny. Ukraine launches NFT museum to keep the memory of war. Remember when I said Ukraine scam, the airdrop scam, the biggest scam in history? So let's take the word Ukraine out and put whatever project X, Y, and Z does not do an airdrop, but launches NFT museum. Right? How would y'all feel about that? I'm not going to go into it. The story is in the title. Essentially, Ukraine launched an NFT museum. Everything that's going on with the war, with Russia invading them, they want to, have NFTs of this invasion to save for forever so people can remember it. But what's more important, of course, is what I always say, and that's follow the money. Follow the money. According to the NFT Museum website at the time of publication, 54 NFTs of key moments in the war between February 24th and February 26th will be available starting on March 30th, with proceeds of the sales in Ether used to support army and civilians. So not only did they get a bunch of donations to say they was going to airdrop the country and scam y'all out and lie, now the new scam is an NFT scam where they're going to do an NFT museum and you all can buy the NFTs with Ether to support the country. Like, okay, first and foremost, let me do something. People, if you don't think this is a scam, I don't know what to tell you. How are you a country? You're a country at war. And it looks like, from a country that you used to belong to, you're at war. I don't know. Again, I'm not paying that much attention. You're at war with a country who used to, who used to be over you all, right? You used to be a part of this country. And in the midst of fighting a war, you're going to say, hey, yo, we launched an NFT museum. Come buy some NFTs. All right. Hey, maybe it's just me. But yeah, so Ukraine, if you want to keep supporting them, you can buy some of their NFTs. Yeah, they got a narrative going here. Let me read it. I know this is the way they said it. The NFT Museum boldly states, we will never let any single day of this period disappear from the ledger of world history. And with that, you can buy this for $6,000. There we go. People, oh my goodness. Oh man. There we go. Ukraine, I get it. I see what's happening. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody from the US is in Ukraine right now doing all these plays and like literally, you think, oh, y'all think y'all gonna launch an NFT museum? We're not gonna see none of that? No, we're gonna see some of that too. Let's see the comments. Maybe I'm wrong, but in my opinion, you all know how this thing works. In my opinion, it's like where we at? Here it is.
From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
Hey, I want in. You know me, I want in. Les Square says amazing. They are talking about that in the middle of a war. People, this is my point, and this is why it's the biggest scam right here. Even if you were launching this NFT museum and you made money, X, Y, and Z, and da. If Russia wins, it's Russia's NFT museum. What are you doing? What are you doing? If Russia wins, that is their museum officially. Like what? If I was Russia, I'd be petty as hell. And that little peace treaty and all that. Hey, that NFT museum, Like, I was specifically listed as a bullet. That NFT museum, yeah, that's ours now. That's Russia's now. All the money and proceeds you make off that, we're gonna need to see some of that. Let's see. PFC Will said, I tapped in on this in the weekend of crypto. Make sure you all check that out. We'll be uploading that after the show. I argue technically this is a valid utility of the tech. I keep saying there's a real game being played right now in front of our eyes. Let's see. Nappy Way said, Ukraine has been a good example of psyops. I mean, the fact that they said they was going to airdrop the money and they didn't, and the world didn't turn on Ukraine, lets me know the media is mediating right now. Like, goodness gracious, they did a rug pull in their country, people. They did a countrywide rug pull, and I know we didn't do that, but hey, here's something else. Get the next best thing. Like, oh man. Julio said Chris Rock, as soon as he got slapped, probably thought I'm back. Instead of the little birdies, he saw dollar signs going around his head. Hilarious. Let's see. Tara's gonna kill it. Still have my Luna. All right, there we go, Kadeem. Let's see. Who else we have in the chat? Let's see. Oh, they got only the real estate has a funny face saying what Ukraine is doing. Look, Ukraine is rug pulling the world right now. They're the shadowy super coders that they've been talking about it. Milton said, thank you, King. Capitalism is worth fighting for. Hell yeah. Listen, people, here's the deal. Really quick. I tell people now, like, I skipped some school in high school, people. All right. By halfway through the day, you could find me at Carowinds. It was this amusement park in South Carolina. Like, what? You could find me in many places by lunchtime, but I still got my work done. And I remember looking at some of my friends who I would skip with every now and then, and they be like, I failed this class or I'm something. I'm like, wait, you didn't do the work? And they look at me like, no, we was gone for like 3 days this week. I'm like, bruh, I still did my work for 11. What are you talking about? My point in that story is that we all, at least for me, I had some terrible circumstances, still made it to this point. I was around other people who had better or worse circumstances, but we were in the same place. We could have came to the same place. Some people went further than me. Some people came behind me. But regardless, we had these same opportunities. We're now all of a sudden about to be like socialism and sharing, and no, hell to the no. Hell to the no. I'll put my money behind some ammunition. Capitalism is well alive, is not going nowhere, people. Commander Gore, what about reparations? I think reparations should actually happen. But one of the reasons why I think it should happen is I think is what our nation needs to heal. I think once it happens, our nation can finally heal and there won't be any more finger pointing, right? I think it shouldn't last that long. It should be maybe 4 to 8, 10 years. And again, it doesn't have to be money. It could be in a form of education, in the form of this, in the form of land, in the form of whatever, to certain families. And once it's done, it's done. We never have to talk about the ugly past again. We can move forward. But until then, I do think we should have it. But reparations don't really have to do with capitalism, I don't think. I think that's 2 different topics. Let's see. Saber Save said, I heard this is how North Korea sees power, by giving things out for free. When you go to the doctors and they don't have the medication you need, you can't get mad because you're getting it for free. Exactly. Slippery slope, people. Slippery slope. All right. Let's see. Last but certainly not least, this story came out last week, but still wanted to cover it really quick. ExxonMobil is in the news. I mean, low-key, this may be one of the reasons for a Bitcoin pump. Who knows? But ExxonMobil is using excess natural gas to power crypto mining. The oil and gas launched the pilot program. The oil and gas giant launched the pilot program in January of 2021 and is now reportedly considering expanding it to Nigeria, Argentina, Guyana, and Germany. ExxonMobil is reportedly running a pilot program aimed at using the energy from excess gas to power crypto mining rigs, and it may be expanding its operations to 4 other countries. It looks like the project reportedly uses 18 million cubic feet of natural gas per month, roughly 0.4% of the oil giant's reported operations in the state, producing 158 million cubic feet of natural gas each day. They launched this pilot program, and it looks like it's actually working. It's creating use of what would be otherwise wasted, said the president of environmental shareholder advocacy group, essentially saying that this is a good thing to see. So once again, this whole energy debate about Bitcoin is again being debunked as we're seeing companies start to use bigger platforms to mine crypto or to go toward the energy of mining crypto. I say this is a huge story also because you think they're going to be the only one to do it? No, BP, Exxon, Chevron. If this is a possibility, it is possible in this way to make more money and to keep your money deflationary in the term of using Bitcoin, why not do it? So I think not only will we see these gas companies do it, I think we're going to see every company that has extra energy that can be renewed. We're going to see them do it. We're going to see them use it Why? Because it just makes sense. And once again, this is why the war of Bitcoin has been won already, because it just makes sense. I literally compare Bitcoin to a calculator when I'm talking to people. I'm like, why do you use a calculator? Why do you use a TI-83? Like, you don't get mad at the calculator because it can do a math problem quick. No, you appreciate it. Bitcoin is just a calculator. It's literally just saying, yo, you don't need a human being. Everything's already done. Stop trying to be the smart guy in the room and be like, well, how's it done? How is it created? Because if we get really technical, you won't understand anyway. If we start talking the technical parts of Bitcoin for real, I would say 98% of the population would not understand it. So there's no point of even asking those questions, but to be a hardhead. And again, I don't even get it, but these companies do. So that's the good thing to see out there, is that whether that mom and pop or somebody didn't listen to you at your family dinner or Christmas or Thanksgiving, doesn't matter. ExxonMobil is listening. Michael Sayers is listening. Elon Musk is listening. You see these multi-billion-dollar companies and individuals listening. So again, the war is won, people. So shout out to ExxonMobil for stepping outside of their natural workload, their natural workday, and trying something different. Other than that, that's the show for today. Really quick, let me go ahead and check out these last few comments of the day. Oh, hold on. Oh, these likes are lacking. This is what I'm going to say right now. Make sure you all smash that like and share before you go, because if we wake up tomorrow and them likes are not smashed, I wake up very early, I will roll right back over. Last comments. Nappy Ways say a lot of altcoin projects are Bitcoin only. The token utility is to take people's fiat and crypto to Bitcoin while issuing shit coins. You already know it. Let's see. Alec G said, I don't have any hard data on this, but it seems on average, Bitcoin maxis seem to be overwhelmingly European. LOL. Hilarious. Let's see. Voice Crypto, great point. I don't know if this is real, but they said Will Smith slap NFT is blowing up. Forget that. Somebody right now, please make a Will Smith token, Will Smith smack tokens, Will Smith slap token. And let's get it on the market. Go ahead and send it to me so I can get me some Will Smith slap tokens. There will only be 5 million of them, 1 million per finger on the hand. But altogether, it's a $5 million project, and you can own a piece of crypto history. I want to be, listen, if I come on this thing tomorrow and there's a Will Smith slap token up 10,000%, it would not surprise me. Let's see. Cryptonomics said Doge is like the most basic fundamental form of crypto. No frills and thrills, no promises. It just does what it's supposed to do. Best kept secret, in my opinion. I actually agree with you, Cryptonomics. It is one of the best kept secrets, but again, what jacked that secret up is people looking at it for money instead of the technology. But you are right. When you're not paying attention to Dogecoin, like today, when it's low and everything, Dogecoin, the network does work. And the reason why it works, for those who are wondering, is because Dogecoin, like the majority of altcoins, are a fork of Bitcoin. People, they use Bitcoin to make it. So that's why it works. But yeah, in its simplest, in its purest form, if I want to make sure someone gets the equivalent of $50, $1,000, or $5,000, I can use Dogecoin to send it, and they can receive it in Doge. So I agree with that. Dogecoin in its purest form works as a cryptocurrency. So shout out to that. I definitely agree with that. Let's see. What else do we have? Let's see. What did the 5 fingers say to the face? You already know it. I don't believe there are less than or 300 people watching this. Oh, it's all good, William Justice. We the best kept secret, but it's all good. All right. I think that is the show for the day. I'm looking at the last couple of comments. I don't see too much more stuff. Other than that, make sure you smash the like and share. Thanks for the people over the weekend who bought that masterclass. We'll be coming to you soon with another Q&A for that. If you haven't already, listen, people are still hitting us up and they love the masterclass. We love it. It's good. I got to get back to a couple of people. They asked us about some other ones. I don't know what else is going on in space, but I know I can stand by ours. Smash the like and share. Wish Bitcoin Day a happy birthday. Check out Crypto in the Caribbean episode 4. And of course, Trex Weekend Roundup is about to be released as well. We will see you all later with some more crypto, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin blockchain news.